Back in 2018 I did a series of videos about accessories for motorhomes. I did essential accessories, I did recommended accessories, and I did nice to have accessories. This video is about the essential accessories, and I thought it was about time I had a relook at some of those accessories. I'm going to start with one of the, this is in no particular order, and the links for all these products will be in the description below the video, and you can check those out. Let me know if you've got any different ideas about what you think is essential. I may well have missed something, and you may disagree with me, but this is my opinion on what is essential. And I think number one is essential is water. This is a roll flat water hose, and it's 25 meters, you can see, and it's got these hose lock connectors on it and that sort of thing, and that's what you'll find on campsites. One of these, and most campsites have hose lock connectors. So like I say, this is 25 meters, so it will reach most places and it doesn't take up too much room, so this is a good idea to have. So that's my first essential accessory. The next essential accessory is cable for the electrics. You'll see this sort of plug on campsites like that, and this is, again, this is about 25 meters, and it's on a coil, it's on a reel, it's got a little handle so you can wind it in. Makes storing it a lot easier and putting it away, because this cable, believe me, can get in a right tangle, so I strongly recommend having a reel. I also strongly recommend not using the cable to power your motorhome when it's on the reel. Unwind it properly. Electric cable like this gets warm when it's carrying a lot of current, and you could come home to a real fire, pun intended. Up. Losing everything here. I'm getting surrounded by accessories. Next one on my list is a gas spanner. This is an adjustable Halfords gas spanner. What you'll need is a 30mm spanner to undo the coupling on a gas bottle. We use Calagas bottles, and they're interchangeable, but you will need a spanner, a 30mm spanner. Other spanners are available. This is a Halfords spanner. And sometimes you'll find that your motorhome comes with a gas spanner, but it is essential if you're going to change your gas bottles. Safety, fire blanket. Strongly recommend having a fire blanket. Fire blanket is very useful for sort of fat fires, you know, the sort of chip pan fires that we used to talk about. You can put this fire blanket over a fire on the cooker and it will smother it. It may be a lifesaver. It may save your life, and it may save the life of your motorhome. Something else that may save a life is a fire extinguisher. This is a powder fire extinguisher. I keep it by the door. It's useful for things like engine fires and that sort of thing. You never know when you're going to need it, so get yourself a fire extinguisher. This is a CO2 alarm, so this will go off if there's too much CO2 being produced, probably by a cooker that's not burning gas properly. CO2 is a silent killer, so this could save your life. So make sure your motorhome has a CO2 and it does work. You can test it, and I'm not going to do it now, by pressing the button. You can check there's a battery in it, and that is essential. I'd lost it. Also essential is a smoke alarm, for the same reasons really. You could be sleeping, something could be on fire, there could be a load of smoke, and you might not notice it, and you can die in your sleep with smoke. This will make a very loud sound Make sure it's got a battery in it, obviously, and you can press it to test it. Oh. On the subject of security, I've got 3 levels of security for the motorhome. You don't want someone moving off with your motorhome. This is a physical level of security. This is a clutch claw, and this goes around the clutch and the brake pedal. It's very heavy, quite solid, and it probably won't stop the most determined thief who comes with a grinder or an acetylene torch or whatever, but you'll slow them down. So that's the first level of security. Other levels of security you might want to consider would be alarms, perhaps a tracker, remote monitored tracker, and perhaps an alarm linked to a tracker would be good. And you also might want to consider some form of visible security, and that may be the VIN chip system that some vans come with, or the Caravan ID system that I mentioned. There will be a link to the Caravan ID videos that I did. You can have a look at that. But certainly consider forms of security for your van. It is an expensive investment and you don't want people nicking it. This is a set of fuses and bulbs, and I would certainly recommend having some spare. This is a bit old actually, I'm perfectly honest, but I would certainly recommend having some of these fuses. You'll need some of these fuses if any of the 12-volt appliances go, and perhaps you will need some headlamp bulbs as well, that sort of thing in there. Always useful to have, you never know when you're going to need it. Like I said, this was in no particular order, just how I've found them here. I'm surrounded by them. But get some form of torch. This is a, I'm not sure how you say it, Petzl head torch, and it is pretty bright. You can wear this when you're out walking the dog, or if you need to when you're outside. A lot of campsites go quite dark at night, so a good torch is essential, really is. Also essential is eating and drinking. Start with mugs. We quite like having porcelain mugs in the van, and this red thing here is called a Muggi, and what that is a plastic tray really for carrying mugs about. It also stops them rattling when you're in transit, because you don't want them crashing together. Plates. Have some plates. We use some melamine plates. Let me show you the bigger ones. We've got quite a nice melamine plate. These are lighter, I suppose, than the porcelain plates, and they rattle less. But I have got these dividers in there, and they stop these sort of rattling against each other. But a good set of plates, a good idea. You do want to eat, don't you, really? And you want to drink as well, so get yourself some wine glasses. These are plastic wine glasses. They well, you don't want broken glass everywhere, so we use plastic ones. There's the other one. This is something I've done a few videos on. It's called a Ridgemonkey. It comes in a little case. You can see it's fairly well used, and it opens up, and inside there there's a couple of handles, which you fit onto the side of it. And it's got some utensils in there, some spoons and some stirrers. But what it gives you is a double-sided pan. Now I think the idea of these originally is for making toasties, but you can use them for all sorts of things, baking potatoes and all sorts of things. So if you only ever got one pan, the Ridgemonkey is a brilliant idea. There will be a video, oh, I'm doing the wrong side, there'll be a video up there about the Ridgemonkey. I've got to put all this away, you know. More conventionally, you might want a non-stick pan, probably a non-stick frying pan as well. We tend to use two pans, a bigger pan for boiling potatoes and that sort of thing. And of course, in this box here that goes under the sink, that's got all our stirrers and, you know, the sort of things you're going to need in a house, you're going to need in a motorhome. You know, you're going to be frying and all that sort of thing. But you're going to need to think about cooking utensils. We spend a lot of time on electric hookup, so we don't really need a kettle, but when you're out and about and you fancy a quick cup of coffee, this is a brilliant thing to have. This is an Outwell collapsible kettle, and we've had this for quite a few years and it's been really good. Quite surprised. We don't have an electric kettle, really, because obviously electric kettles don't work when you're not plugged in, so consider having a collapsible kettle. It's made in China, stainless steel and silicon. Done that. This is something I think is probably essential, but I think I only ever used it about twice. And what it is a grip mat. It's like you put this under your front wheel where the driven wheels are, and if you're stuck on grass, in mud or in snow, I guess, if your wheels can get a bit of grip, and you can see that a bit of tyre grip there, this will give you a bit of extra grip to get you going. And I think the only times we've used it is when we've been parked on a grass pitch and it's really rained and we got stuck, and you can use this to get off a wet or muddy pitch. So grip mats, these are Fiamma grip mats. There's 4 of them. Presumably you can, I think the idea is you can tie 2 of them together to give you a bit of a longer run, but like I say, I've only ever used it twice, so debatable whether it's essential, but it's essential if you need it, if you know what I mean. I'm making a right pile over there. These are essential. And this is a levelling ramp, and what this allows you to do is drive your motorhome, or drive a wheel or wheels up this ramp, and that will give you a bit of extra height at one end. And more often than not, pitches, camp pitches, are not level, and you'll need one of these or 2 of these to get yourself level. It's actually quite heavy. This is a Fiamma Jumbo, this one. The ones for caravans tend to be not quite as high as these. This is what, 4 inches, so it'll get you up a good 4 inches at one end. Definitely essential. And I've got 2 of those, and you can see they're fairly well used. Get rid of that. A funnel. This is essential because you'll need this to top up your windscreen washer fluid. You can try, pouring into the tiny little filler cap that you get with the windscreen washer fluid, but this is essential, and it's useful for other things as well, so make sure you've got one of those. We got this when we went abroad, and back in 2018 was about the last time we've actually been to Europe, and we got it from Halfords, and it comes with several things. It comes with a first aid kit. It's always useful to have. We have got a bigger first aid kit in the back of the van. I kept some jump leads in there because where else are you going to keep them? This is the essential thing though. This is an emergency warning triangle, and there are some that are battery powered, and I've seen, I think the Caravan Nut did a video on those, but this is a basic one, and it comes in a thing, and I won't do it in here, but you can unfold it, and it gives people a warning that you've broken down, and you may be on the motorway, and you want to give people some sort of warning so they don't crash into you. So I would say that's essential. Also, when you're out in the van, a high visibility jacket is really a good idea, especially if you're in and around motorways and roads and you want people to see you. A high visibility jacket is compulsory in European countries, and I'm not absolutely sure it's compulsory in this country, but it ought to be. I certainly think it's essential. Other things I've got in here is an adapter for European pins. You don't see those sort of pins very much, and I must admit I never use that. Something else I've never used is the breathalyzer kit, and I think they're withdrawing that rule that says you need one of those. So anyway, that's all in my going abroad kit. Hopefully I'll get to use that again. Last but not least, a toolkit. This one of mine, you can see that, this one of mine is in a bit of a mess. This is one of the ones I got from Alfred's again. It's got all sort of the bits and pieces you need. Probably, really what you need is a screwdriver and a pair of pliers, or well, wire cutters, but this has got all the sort of things that you might well need when things go wrong. Usually it's a case of screwing screws back in with motorhomes. Screws have a habit of unscrewing themselves for some reason. Oh. I did say last but not least. I knew there was something else. Toilet fluid. You're going to need some toilet fluid for your chemical toilet. This is the stuff that we've been using. I did a video, I'll link up here, on Solbio. This is a green toilet fluid and environmentally friendly. It's got no nasty chemicals in it, so I'm quite happy using this. It leaves a pleasant smell and it cleans the toilet as you use it as well, so highly recommended. I've been using this for over a year now and it has been really good. Much better than those nasty blue chemicals that stain your fingers and all that sort of thing. So yeah, Solbio. Just have a look around, see if I've got anything. No, don't think I've forgotten anything. So I hope you found that useful. These are my essential accessories, and I'm sure that other people will have their own essential accessories. If you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up, and if you click on the card at the end of this video, you'll see links to the other videos I've made in this series. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.